Deafness is characterized by hearing loss, an umbrella term for a range of conditions where an individual possesses a reduced capacity to hear than what is conventional. This is a medical perspective on deafness, and at times its focus on impairment borders on being offensive. We seek to discuss deafness within a social model of disability. Deaf people may belong to a community complete with its own culture. Within this community, a particular distinction between deaf with a lowercase d and deaf with an uppercase d is often made, referencing the larger community and identity when stylized with an uppercase d. They recognise that deafness is characterised by belonging to a unique minority group of society, rather than suffering an impairment, as is implied by the lowercase d. For a distinct population of those with hearing loss, those whose primary language is sign language and are profoundly deaf, the perception of their condition as a disability is challenged, arguing that it is in fact a significant part of their identity. Moreover, the label of disabled is believed to be placed upon the deaf by a hearing society, not by individuals with intimate experience with the community. Correcting this misconception through deaf excellence is at the foundation of the deaf community's ideals. Dirksen et al. Go further to epitomise the ideals of their culture, advocating the term deaf gain, arguing that nothing is lost in being deaf. Instead, it lends to diversity, and through some aspects such as sign languages, unparalleled and emotional and contextual nuances, unique perspectives for creative endeavours, and sensory abilities including sharpened sight and smell receive unique gains unavailable to the hearing community. Above all, being D deaf means belonging to a culture that is enduringly progressive, proud, and resilient in empowering those around them. At its core, this is the deaf community and its culture.
The deaf community is made up of those who are deaf and hard of hearing who share common experiences, values, and a common language and way of interacting with each other. Those who usually belong to the community are those who use Auslan, those who are deaf from birth or an early age, children of deaf adults, and those who live and work with people who are deaf. Those who do not usually belong to the community are individuals who lose their hearing in their adult life and those who do not value or respect Auslan. Not everyone who is completely or partially deaf will associate themselves with the deaf community. As it is a cultural and linguistic group, the D in deaf community is capitalised. Therefore, when talking about all deaf people, the D is not capitalised, as not all those who are deaf recognise themselves as belonging to the community.